Inquisitive, YN leans in closer to Jimin, her eyes meeting him as she questions how he ended up in such a state.
But you can't
Now,
even feel
tell me,
it.
how did you end up like this?
Try to deny it.
Smirking, why are you so interested?
But it's coming from
YN.
someone you love.
Caught off guard, YN
Not
looks
the
away, her
wise
heart beating faster than before.
To deceive.
Jimin, sensing her discomfort, leans forward, narrowing the distance between them. Or is there another reason you're caring for me so much? YN, avoiding eye contact, remains silent, her internal struggle evident. Jimin persists, changing his approach, asking why her heart is racing. Let's switch gears, YN. Why is your heart racing? YN, wide-eyed, denies any emotional involvement. No reason. It's just. I am just. Asking Jimin. Jimin, undeterred, repeats the question.
To the place in the talk where we see that the elders have lost time and the lessons learned a long time have all but abandoned our small minds about nothing but fear, trying to run up a decline. Maybe one day we'll learn the truth. Maybe we're blind by design.
YN's eyes widen in surprise, her fingers momentarily freezing in the midst of
Blind by design.
a moment of palpable tension hangs in the air.
Maybe we're blind
Jimin,
by
undeterred
design.
by YN's initial shock, leans in, a hint of vulnerability in his gaze. Do you love me? YN, caught off guard, searches for words, her eyes flickering with uncertainty. Jimin, persistent, doesn't let the moment linger.
We are different.
Come on, YN. Will you date me? I can see you really like me. YN, still processing Jimin's unexpected confession, takes a moment to gather her thoughts. She finally looks up, meeting Jimin's intense gaze. Jimin, it's a lot to take in. Jimin, maintaining eye contact, patiently waits for YN's response. I understand.
We'll just have
Take
to
your time.
trust now.
YN, a small smile breaking through her initial surprise, rolls her eyes playfully. YN, sad face teasing. You really know how to drop a bombshell, don't you?
We're coming to
Jimin
that
chuckles,
place in the
appreciating
talk.
YN's attempt
It
to
seems
lighten
like
the
the
mood.
elders have lost time.
Jimin's sad
The
face
lessons
grinning,
we learned
eyeing the
from a
dramatic
long
effect.
time have all but
YN,
abandoned
now
our
more
small
at ease,
minds
continues with her
about
genuine
nothing but fear,
YN,
trying to
honestly,
run up a
Jimin, this is
decline. Maybe
unexpected.
one day we'll learn
I need
from
time
truth.
to process everything.
Maybe we're blind by
Jimin, sensing
design.
YN's need for space, not understanding her.
Maybe
Jimin's
we're
sad
blind
face
by
tightly.
design.
Of course, YN. I'm here whenever you're ready.
Maybe we're blind
After
by
Jimin's heartfelt
design.
confession, he leaves to take a shower.
Oh,
YN,
maybe we're
still
blind
processing
by
a whirlwind of
design.
emotions, sits on the edge of the bed, her fingers absent-mindedly running through her hair. The room is filled with the muffled sound of running water from the shower, creating a momentary cocoon of solitude for YN. She takes a deep breath, attempting to reconcile the surreal events unfolding around her. As YN glances around the room, her eyes fall on Jimin's discarded coat on the floor. She reaches down to pick it up, and in that moment, a heavy object slips from the coat pocket and clatters onto the floor. YN's eyes widen with shock. Bending down, she picks up the unexpected item, a gun.
Try to deny it.
YN, holding the gun
it's
delicately,
coming for
rolls her
someone
eyes
you
in
love.
disbelief.
Not
The weight of the
wise.
situation sinks in as she grapples with the realization that there's more to Jimin than meets the eye.
And I had a
Just
way.
then, Jimin's phone, resting on the bedside table, lights up with an incoming call. YN glances at the caller ID, revealing it to be Jimin's personal bodyguard. Curiosity overcoming her, she decides to answer the call, her hand hesitating for a moment before picking up the phone. YN, holding Jimin's phone, hesitates for a moment before answering the call. She lifts the phone to her ear, her eyes narrowing with suspicion. On the other end, the bodyguard's voice crackles through the line, a sense of urgency in his tone. Bodyguard sad face inquiring,
Now we're
"Are
coming
you
to
safe?
the place in the
Boss,
talk.
have you
Where we
reached
see
the
that
house?"
the elders have lost time.
YN, a
And
silent
the lessons
observer,
we learned
listens
for a long
intently, her
time
fingers
have all
absently
but
tapping
abandoned our
against the phone.
small minds.
Bodyguard's
Without
sad
nothing
face
but
whispering,
fear.
"Good news.
Trying to run
We've
up a
apprehended
decline.
the enemy.
Maybe
Leaked
one day we'll
information.
learn the
The
truth.
cameras in Park Mansion have been compromised. We've taken care of it. The situation is under control. No one can mess with you. Soon, you'll be the only Mafia King of Korea. No one can be in front of you. YN's eyes widen with shock as the revelation sinks in. She clutches the phone, absorbing the weight of the truth she has just stumbled upon. Before she can process the newfound knowledge, the sound of the bathroom door opening catches her attention. YN, quick on her feet, swiftly ends the call, her fingers hovering over the phone screen. YN, feigning nonchalance, places the phone back on the bedside table, attempting to mask the turmoil within. Jimin emerges from the shower, his silhouette framed by the dim light. His eyes lock onto YN, who stands holding the gun, her hair falling loosely around her determined expression. YN's fingers tighten around the gun, a mixture of fear and resolve in her eyes. Jimin smirks, an air of confidence surrounding her. Jimin, smirking, anything interesting?
Lion sad face
We're
survey.
coming to the
Three.
place in the talk.
Jimin,
It seems
still
like the
smirking,
elders have
responds
lost
with a
time.
touch of
The
affection.
lessons we've learned from a
Jimin sad
long
face
time
losing. You
have all
already
but
know.
abandoned our small minds.
Park Jimin.
About nothing but fear.
Lion,
Trying
dismissing
to
his words,
run up a
presses on.
decline. Maybe one
Lion sad face resolute. Enough with the lies. Tell me who you are in reality. Jimin's smile fades as he senses the gravity of the situation. YN, her grip on the gun unyielding, confronts him. Jimin sad face defensive. Why are you holding that gun? I keep it for my safety. As a CEO, I have enemies. YN, unswayed, issues a warning. YN sad face threatening, don't lie to me. I want the truth, not your CEO persona. Jimin takes a step forward, testing YN's resolve. She sternly warns him, the gun now a symbol of her determination. YN sad face warning, stay right there, Jimin. I won't hesitate to shoot. YN sad face demanding, why was your shirt covered in blood? Why did you leave Park Mansion in the middle of the night? Jimin remains silent, a calculated pause hanging in the air. YN, her eyes fixed on him, awaits the revelation that could shatter the illusion of the man she thought she knew. YN, her eyes piercing through the tension, confronts Jimin with a direct question. YN sad face curious, are you really a Mafia King? Jimin, his expression unreadable, doesn't deny the truth. In swift motion, he takes steps towards YN, seizing the gun from her hand. YN, now held in a firm embrace from behind, feels the warmth of Jimin's body as he leans close. Jimin, sad face intrigued, how did you find out? YN, determined, maintains her composure. YN sad face confident, so, you are a mafia king. Jimin, his grip tightening, challenges her attempt to break free. YN sad face struggling, let go, Jimin. I want to go home. Jimin, unmoved, reveals a possessive side. Jimin, assertive, you're not going anywhere. You chose to come to Park Mansion, and now, you can't leave without my permission. Frustration and confusion paint YN's face as she aggressively tosses the gun aside, the metal clattering against the floor. She forcefully removes herself from Jimin's grip, determination etched across her features. YN, assertive, you're no one to dictate where I can go or live. You can't force me to stay. Jimin, undeterred, steps closer, his intense gaze fixed on YN. Jimin, gentle, yet firm, YN, you need to understand. I love you. I can take care of you. YN, her eyes reflecting a mix of emotions, responds with skepticism. YN, frustrated, I can't live with a mafia boss, Jimin. You should have been honest with me. You can't hide such a crucial part of your life. Jimin, now facing the consequences of his secrecy, tries to reassure her. Jimin, apologetic, I didn't want to involve you in this. I love you, and I thought I could keep you safe by keeping you away from the darker side of my life. YN, torn between emotions, demands transparency. YN, conflicted, love isn't built on lies, Jimin. If you truly care about me, let me decide if I want to be a part of this. Jimin, realizing the weight of his actions, nods with a hint of regret. Jimin, sincere, I understand, YN. Take your time, but know that my feelings for you are genuine. YN, fueled by a mix of anger and hurt, responds sharply. YN, rudely, I don't need time, Jimin. I don't have any feelings for you. I don't want you in my life. With those cutting words, YN storms out of the room, leaving Jimin behind. The weight of the revelations hangs heavily in the air as she makes her way to the garden, her eyes now filled with tears. Amidst the moonlit garden, YN, her emotions in disarray, whispers to herself as tears stream down her cheeks. YN, softly, how could he hide something like this? A mafia king? Is that the life he leads, surrounded by violence and secrecy? How did I not see it before? She paces in the garden, grappling with the weight of Jimin's revelation. YN, teary-eyed, and he loves me? How am I supposed to believe that when he kept such a crucial part of his life hidden? Love shouldn't come with these kinds of secrets. Her voice quivers with a mix of anger and heartbreak. YN, angry whisper, I can't let myself be with someone like him. I need to get away. I can't let his dangerous world consume me. She takes a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. YN, softly, but why does it hurt so much? I never signed up for this, for a love entangled with the shadows of his clandestine life. The garden witnesses YN's internal struggle as she grapples with the shattered pieces of her perception of Jimin and the reality he concealed. In the week following the intense confrontation with Jimin, YN threw herself into her work as Mr. Park's physiotherapist. She maintained a professional front, ensuring that he received top-notch care during their daily sessions in the tranquil garden of the new house. Despite her composed exterior, YN couldn't escape the emotional turbulence within. Nights were particularly challenging as she grappled with the shocking revelation about Jimin's identity. The burden of unspoken feelings weighed heavily on her. As the days passed, Mr. Park's physical progress became evident. His movements became more fluid, and YN took pride in contributing to his recovery. However, the atmosphere was tinged with the unspoken tension from the encounter with Jimin. During these sessions, YN found solace in the routine of therapy, though the closed doors of the mansion served as a constant reminder of the unaddressed issues. The week unfolded with a mix of professional dedication and personal contemplation, leaving YN caught between the duty she owed her patient and the emotional aftermath of that revealing night. Mrs. Park, though appreciative of YN's efforts, notices the underlying sadness in her eyes. Mrs. Park, concerned, YN, is everything all right? You've been a tremendous help to us, and we're grateful. YN manages a soft smile, concealing the heartache within. YN, gentle, I appreciate your kindness, Mrs. Park. It's just that my work requires me to be available for other patients, too. Mr. Park has made significant progress, and I believe he'll continue to improve. Mrs. Park, sensing YN's unspoken words, decides to address the matter delicately. Mrs. Park, compassionate, YN, you've been like family to us during this time. If there's anything on your mind, you can share it with us. YN, grateful for the kindness, chooses her words carefully. YN, softly, Mrs. Park, it's been an honor to be here and help Mr. Park. However, after these 15 days, I need to return to my other patients. You can visit the hospital, and I'll ensure Mr. Park continues to receive the care he needs. Mrs. Park, understanding YN's perspective, nods in agreement. Mrs. Park, gentle, we appreciate everything you've done, YN. Let's make the most of the time we have left, and we'll discuss the future arrangements later. YN, trying to distract herself, flips through channels on the TV. The constant buzz of news and shows provides a temporary escape, but her thoughts keep drifting back to Jimin. She replays their moments together in her mind, seeking answers to the sudden change. YN, talking to herself, why did Jimin suddenly disappear after confessing his feelings? Did I misinterpret everything? Was it all a game to him? I thought he cared. As YN continues watching TV, a breaking news segment grabs her attention. The headline flashes on the screen. YN freezes, her eyes widening in disbelief. She mumbles to herself. How can he marry someone when he just confessed his feelings to me? Was it all a lie? Or did I mean nothing to him?